Yo, guys, what is up? So, situation currently is that the Kushan game is bugged out, which means I'm not getting the rewards you're supposed to be getting from converting new people. And I'm pretty sure that from what I can see in the works, there's going to be a new patch, I reckon, this weekend. It seems like everything's being finalized on that, so I didn't really want to start something new. So, what I'm going to do is show you guys what I've been working on, because I've been doing this for the last week or so kind of, and basically what I wanted to try and do was make some changes to city states to make them a bit more interesting. So I will put this into the alternative difficulty V9. I guess I'll wait until the new patch to release it, since I might as well have the new patch changes and then have these changes as well. But I'm just going to show you pretty much what the changes are, because I think some of them are quite cool, if I do say so myself. Alright, let's do a game here. Let's pick ourselves like a city-statey civ. I guess we'll try Austria. Alright, so I'm actually going to use the autoplayer here, and then we will just talk about shit as it comes up in the game. Yeah, I didn't know about this until somewhat recently, but there's it's like a toolkit thing. Comes with Civ normally, and it allows you to just get the AI to play your Civ, so you can just have a full AI game and just watch what they do. Kinda cool. Alright, let's actually give Maria a bit of help here, because she did have to start with one less warrior than normal, due to the fact that that's what humans start with. And yeah, so first thing you'll probably notice is the differences with tributing. So the tribute strength calculation I changed a bit, just to make your overall military power a bit more impactful, because before it was basically 0, and then military near city state I think a bit less, just so you can't, because it used to be you could get quite ridiculous and you could outgrow even the penalties for tributing on a recently tributed city state. So yeah, and they start off with fewer units, so you will be able to tribute them easier at the start, because they'll only have 2 warriors instead of 3. But the tribute will be worth way less, so the tribute now scales with population of the city state and then scales with era. This basically means, yeah, at the start 10 is the maximum that you can get from them, although it kind of seems like it's 20 here because it's 15% and giving 3, but whatever. Yeah, and then it's, oh, they do have 2 population. Alright, it is 20 then. So it will scale with their population and then with era as well. So by the time they're up at 10 population, it will be, 100 maximum tribute that you can get from them. By that time they'll probably have some more units, so it won't be so easy to get that. But yeah, the tribute should scale kind of better, I think, and it should scale more throughout the game. So at the end of the game, tribute should still be somewhat relevant, because they do usually get pretty irrelevant around Renaissance, I feel like. But I reckon with this system, a 20 pop city state is plausible late game, and then era modifier is 7, so that'll be 1,400 of the yield, which is not huge in information era, but it's probably still worth doing. The other thing though is when you tribute people, they will actually lose population. So if I did this tribute here, they would lose 1 population and go back down to 1. Or if you do a heavy tribute, they'll actually lose 2 population. Yeah, so that'll mean each time they get tributed, it's going to reduce their population. So it's going to make tributes in the future less valuable as well, and just going to make the city-state in a worse position. Yeah, that's pretty much it on tribute changes, I think. It doesn't even bug the game out if you tribute them on 1 pop and they go down to 0, so it's all good, guys. Don't worry about that. Alright, let's continue. See what the next thing we get to is. I mean, we can have a bit of a look about, I guess, just see kind of what's going on this game. Carthage down here, they got some fish, but salt is their main thing. Indonesia, lapis lazuli, expect big things from them. Greece with the amber, I feel like Greece gets amber quite often. Kind of sucks. Korea in the jungle, I also see that quite often. And it also sucks, although they do have a unique university, so I guess they will get some bonus science from the jungles, if they don't chop them down. Okay, we've got Attila with some incense. Interesting. And a Poland up here. Ooh, very nice start with the tea. So probably a big old tradition Poland we would expect. Egypt over here. I guess this is alright, they've got gold. And how are we getting on? We've already got our first settler out. Let's go. Should be an easy game, right? Stonehenge Pyramids going, turn 28. Fair enough. Okay, now we should start seeing some city-state spawn units. So, yeah, Sidon has spawned one. Bratislava spawned one as well. Basically, they should just have a lot more units. Is the change here really? I did make a lot of changes, by the way, so I'm just going to go through them all. I don't even know if all of them are good, but I just wanted to change everything I could think of and then kind of see what actually worked out well. Yeah, so they should spawn a lot more units, which should help them have a lot more competitive army, and they should actually spawn some melee units as well, because normally it feels like they just spawn loads of infantry and have no ranged units, but they should have a much better chance of spawning their ranged units. It will also be affected by their personality. We've got some plans to do some more interesting stuff with that, where we can give them certain bonuses that they can have depending on their personality. But for now, it's just going to affect a few things. But so friendly ones will have less units, hostile ones will have more. I would assume Quebec is hostile, since they had those units pretty early. Yeah, and they also, on their units, they will get the same promotions that the barbarians get. So, okay, none of them got them, but this guy's got the forest walking one. Yeah, so these promotions is stuff like, so when the barbarians spawn on a tile, they will generally get a terrain bonus from that tile. Like, there's the Forest Walker one, the Hill Walker one, Desert Walker as well, and City-States will now get that as well, so it should help them be a bit more effective in whatever land they're actually in. But I doubt it'll make a big difference, if I'm honest. Alright, so... wow, 4 cities already, not bad. But one other thing I have noticed here is that I see a trade route. So, I believe Austria has sent a trade route to Sidon. Now, what this does now is actually sends food to the city-state. So, just like an internal trade route would, +6 food right now. I think if she had a lighthouse, it would give more food, or yeah, and as you scale through eras as well, they go up in food. Now, why would you want to do this? Well, if you can become friends or allied with people, you obviously get those yields per turn that you get from them, but they now also scale with population. So yeah, the higher their population, the more yields per turn you'll get from them. Also scales with era as well. So you can actually get like pretty high yields from a city-state if they have enough food and they keep growing and they don't keep getting tributed and stuff. I reckon it should be similar for most of the game, but it should be a lot more later on, I think. Yeah. I mean, I can't remember exactly. I reckon you could get a good like 50, 60 yields per turn, like very late game, if they have like over 20 pop and you're in information era. So that is a lot more than previous. I mean, if they maybe conquer somebody, so they have multiple cities, that will also scale up their yields more. Yeah, and just making them big. I mean, they probably can get up to like pop 30 if they're getting sent trade routes throughout the game as well. So could be even more in that case. So yeah. Definitely you want the city-states you're allied with to have as high pop as possible. Also, I guess then they'll have more units and stuff. They're more likely to be able to help you in wars. And they should honestly be quite helpful in wars now. I reckon they will have like, I mean, a good enough army to at least defend themselves properly, which is something they've struggled with quite a lot from what I've seen in my games. But yeah, maybe even potentially help you conquer other people if they're in the right position and if they spawn siege weapons and stuff, which they will do sometimes. Oh yeah, they can also spawn their unique unit. I forgot to mention that. So Sidon can also spawn good and darks once they have the tech for that. Okay, next thing we can kind of start seeing also is that they do have more border growth than they used to. It should become more apparent as the game goes on. They should have like kind of a normal capital city border growth, like not a tradition one or anything, but just like enough so that they actually have a bit of space to themselves, because normally it feels like they just get kind of squished in and they got nowhere to go and like with their units, so they just end up getting killed. I feel like there's a slight thing with them not spawning units when they have like nowhere for the unit to go. I have to try and figure that out. But everyone else is spawning units pretty well. So like this would actually be, you know, a somewhat reasonably hard thing to take out now. Whereas before you could take out a city-state very easily. I think they also grow more than they did before. I think I changed that a little bit. So they would grow slightly bigger as well. I mean, maybe they'll end up being OP. We'll see. This is the gazebo school of logic, I think, of just making something OP and then seeing how much it needs to be nerfed. Allegedly, that's how he thinks about it anyway. Okay, next change we can kind of see already as well is I did some changes to unit upgrades. So they're actually upgrading their units now, which they were not before for whatever reason. And this also applies to the other civs as well. They will prioritize upgrading their units way higher than they used to. I'm a bit fed up of seeing like outdated units walking around way past their era when the civ has loads of money. So I tried to change that. And it does seem to be working. I mean, I imagine Egypt doesn't have the tech yet. That's why they haven't, but everybody else does seem to be getting on with upgrading their units, which is good to see. Alright, Austria's managed to get herself an alliance. Let's see how much it's given her. Yeah, so 4 per turn. It's in classical era still. So I think that's what you would get before. Maybe it's even a bit less. I didn't want to make the science too high because you're already getting unique units from these guys, so I think I made the science a bit less than like culture and other stuff. Yeah, for that reason. Alright, we're solidly in the medieval era here. Austria's managed to get what? 2 allies right now, 3 actually. So 11 culture per turn is reasonable. 10 science, 13 gold as well. Cool. I believe, yeah, there are some bonuses you can get as well. I mean, if you're Siam, then you get way more bonus yields from each city-state ally you have, and then there's some religious ones as well. Like you can get bonus if the city-state you're allied with has your religion. I think it's like an enhancer belief. So there's ways to increase it as well. Honestly, I can't remember what these were before, but I feel like 10 is a decent amount. Not too much or too little. They're still getting overrun by barbs, which is unfortunate. Have they got any of their good and darks yet? No, that's unfortunate. But yeah, I mean, they do have a lot more units than usual, so none of them have like nearly died yet or anything. We've got a war going on with Carthage here. I mean, yeah, let's see how it kind of pans out in the later on game as well. Greece is going quite in on Korea here. They had some help from Vancouver up here. They have some more allies as well, but they're not really in the correct position. Hey, Budapest is bloody scary, man. Yeah, hostile militaristic. It's just been chilling, making units, not having to use them at all because he's allied with Greece. Oh yeah, the border growth actually, their border growth depends on what kind of personality they have as well. So the friendly ones will have a higher border growth to compensate from the fact that they have less units. That should help them grow more as well, so that should mean they give more yields. But yeah, some of them are up to 16 pop at this point. She could have taken the belief, man. That gives the bonus from allied city-states. Or is there a Reformation one? I honestly don't know because I never take these beliefs because they're usually not very good. There's that one. Plus 50% from Holy Land. Could be worth considering. Abode of Peace. So that's resting influence and city-state quests. Okay. Cool. Maybe we should analyse Austria a bit. She did try and build a lot of wonders, to be honest, so it's unfortunate that she only ended up with Great Library and Hagia Sophia. I suppose it's not too bad. Wow, they're taking rather well. 2 of them are into Renaissance already. Greece and Attila behind, although if Greece can take out Busan, he should get a pretty big boost. Yeah, maybe the tech speed is a little fast. Might tone that down a bit before I release the next one. I don't think keeping up with getting into Renaissance by turn 144 is really plausible. Jesus. So the city-states won't have as many units on lower difficulties as well. This is on deity. It should hopefully be somewhat similar to the amount of units that everyone has. Because, like, particularly on deity before, they were just getting run over by the AIs. Greece did manage to get it. Yeah, I guess they can push forward. I mean, Korea seems a bit broken at this point. Greece doing a reasonable job. Oh, he's got Huachas though. Is that enough? 37 defense as well. And this is a hard one to attack, innit? It'll have to be melee units really, or we'll have to get units around here. Turtle ships, unfortunately a melee boat, so they ain't gonna help. And Vancouver may start getting involved as well. Oh my god, Greece actually did it. Crazy. Alright, next little change that I made as well was I actually allowed city-states to get great people. So you can see they like spawning great merchants and then working those. I mean, I don't think it's going to matter that much to the game, but fuck it, man. Let them have a bit of fun. Yeah, I mean, it will help them have a bit more food and production, I guess. Might give some more bonus for conquering them, since it should be much harder to do that. Alright, so here is Austria. We are turn 190, so I believe game has gone into industrial era now, and yeah, they're having a vote on the host. So yields now 25 science there, 33 gold there, 24 culture there. So it definitely scales a lot more than before. Should stay relevant throughout the game. A lot better. None of them had died, which is good to see. Bratislava was a little bit sketchy. That barb event killed all the units, so just recovering right now. Yeah, and I don't know if Pagota was getting attacked there. But yeah, that's pretty much the changes. I mean, I feel like it should have a reasonable impact on the game, like making them not just a walkover to conquer, but also allowing you to keep getting good tributes from them later on if you can do that. There's still a couple more things to do, definitely, but I feel like this is a good starting point because we want to make more changes to them, but it's kind of pointless if they're just going to get wiped out every game, or just not even give you that much for being allied with them, which I feel like they do a bit more now. I wonder if it might actually make Siam a good civ as well. Imagine that. So definitely I'll play with this in my next series. I might make a couple of little adjustments. I think I need to sort out the unit spawning so that it can spawn elsewhere if there's no space, and maybe play around with the yields a little bit. But we'll see. Yeah, I mean, it's cool to see them having a bit more stuff as well, a bit more land as well, so they're not just like squished into little corners. Probably we'll start the new game when the patch comes out. I mean, the thing is, I guess we'll need to wait a couple of days anyway because there'll be bugs and that. So some point next week, I would say, hopefully like middle of next week or something, we can start the next series. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I'll have to think of what else we can do for videos right now if the Kushans isn't going to work. We'll see. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you soon.